All right, this clip is getting a lot of attention and for good reason. Melania Trump appeared on Fox's The Five. She appeared on The Five because this ridiculous, pathetic documentary, so-called documentary about her life, even though it's apparently about 1 month of her life, is coming out. The total documentary budget was $40 million, $28 million of which reportedly went to Melania Trump. Jessica Tarlov, who is the lone left-winger on Fox's The Five, asks Melania a pretty basic question about Donald Trump being a unifier. And I want you to listen to the answer that Melania Trump gives.
It's great to have you. Something struck me in the trailer. So the president is standing there and gets asked, what will your legacy be? What's your focus for the second term? And he says, I want to be remembered as a peacemaker. And you added, and unifier. And I'm curious as to what role you play in that, or what your designs are for how you can help facilitate that, because there's no question that the country needs a lot of unifying at this moment.
Yes, it does, but I think he's unifier. He's unifier not just here in the United States, but around the world. He stopped many wars, and as well here in the United States, it's a lot of opposition. And that's the problem, right? So the people not agreeing with everything what he does, and they just need to come on the same page and see that he wants to make America only safer and better.
Listen, I am not mocking someone for speaking English with an accent. Melania is from Slovenia. English is like her second or third or fourth or seventh language. She supposedly speaks 7 languages or whatever number. That's totally fine. What is really interesting to me is the right-wing reaction to language and how selective it is. Because for years, MAGA types have been screaming at immigrants. How long have you been here? Learn to speak the good English. If you're in America, speak English. They don't even speak the language when they come here. They're barely coherent. They're not able to express complex ideas in a grammatically accurate way. You see this constantly aimed at Hispanic immigrants, at Asian immigrants, basically anybody who's not white. Melania Trump has been in the United States for decades. She has been first lady and is again first lady. She's been living in elite circles. She's had every resource imaginable. And her English is very rough. Just basic grammatical mistakes. That is not a moral failing. Language acquisition is hard. Accents persist. That's fine. But where are the MAGA people now? Where are the Fox hosts asking, how long has she been here? A first lady who can barely speak English, making basic grammar errors? Where are the MAGA commenters going, speak English? Where are the right-wing memes mocking her for her accent? They're not doing it. And we know why. Because it's not really about language or assimilation or American culture. It's who counts as American if you are MAGA. When a brown immigrant speaks poor English, they're portrayed as an invader. They're a burden. They don't belong here. And when a white European married to an American billionaire speaks English that's just as bad or worse. And by the way, often when it's aimed at Hispanic immigrants, it'll be people who have been here 7 months. She's been here 30 years, but it's elegant and it's mysterious and it's exotic and it's different standards. Same country, same language, different reaction. The MAGA obsession with speak English was never about communication. It was about marking who is an outsider and who is accepted here. And it was about drawing a line between real Americans and those people, those other people. Melania's white, wealthy, European, married to Trump. She's in. Accent doesn't matter. Atrocious grammar doesn't matter. Incoherence doesn't matter. If she were a Mexican immigrant or a Syrian refugee or a Haitian asylum seeker, the exact same speech skill would be turned into a Fox News chyron about cultural collapse. Look at who's coming in. They're invading. This is how identity politics on the right works. Bonus clip from Maria Bartiromo. This is less about English and more about the incoherence of the substance. She was also interviewed promoting this documentary by Maria Bartiromo.
He would like to have a country that all of the people can walk down the street and not to be harassed or murdered or women raped. I think it's very important. And what happened a few years ago, so many criminals came over the border. And he closed the border now a while back already. And
at some point he closed it. Before, now, I don't know.
We need to take care of our citizens.
You know what's so ironic about this? What's so ironic about this is she says, you know, we need a country where women won't be harassed or raped. And Donald Trump, her husband, has been accused of harassing and sexually assaulting dozens of women. But she says, we need a country where that doesn't happen. Well, your husband is one of the people accused of doing that. She argues that as a matter of principle, it's great that Trump closed the border so people stop coming in. But she's one of the people that came in. And for a period of time, she was working here without authorization to work. Her parents came here through the very chain migration that Trump has criticized. She and her husband are everything that she is criticizing. And it is incredible that the irony is totally lost on your average MAGA. We're going to take a break. We've got a phenomenal show today. Make sure you're getting my daily podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Player.fm, Dogcatcher, Podcatcher. You know, I could just go on listing. I'm not going to do it. We'll take a quick break and be right back. Thanks for watching. Check out this other video. And if you like our content, make sure to subscribe so YouTube puts our videos in your feed, and subscribe to the podcast on Spotify and Apple.